How's it going, everyone? Today I'm going to be showing you how to get your Nissan 300ZX up on 4 jack stands. So I noticed when I was looking for videos on how to do this, none of them actually show you how to get the car up on 4 jack stands, pretty much only either the front or the back, but not both. So that's what I'm going to be here showing you how to do today. Most people recommend jacking it up either on the rear differential, right on the pumpkin. I don't recommend that unless you're really just trying to do only stuff in the back. And then I noticed when you do that, the front goes so low you can't get a jack underneath it to lift up by the subframe, which is what the other people recommend if you're just trying to jack up the front. But I'm trying to get it on 4 jack stands. I do have the car on 4 jack stands, so I'm just going to be showing you how I did it. I already did this, and the car's been sitting on 4 jack stands for quite a while now, so this is just kind of proof that it's fine to have it how I have it right now, because it's been about a couple weeks and it's still on here. Yes, before you see the car, it is extremely dirty. That's because this shop does a lot of woodworking and it's just covered in sawdust. But also I just recently pulled the engine out, which I think this video is going to come up before the engine pull video comes out. So if you're interested in that and you're watching this video, it's probably already out. Check out my channel if you want to see the engine get pulled out. This is a BG30DETT motor that I pulled out to give to my friend because I'm 2J swapping this car. But anyway, enough of me rambling. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how I did it. Alrighty, so as you can see, as I mentioned, the car is extremely dirty. It's kitty litter and a whole bunch of random other crap underneath the car just because it leaked a lot of fluid when I was pulling it out, and this is a work in progress. But as you can see, 1, 2, 3, and 4 jack stands, and pretty much engine's out, subframe is out, and I do have actually a 5th jack stand right underneath the differential. Can't really see it. Actually, I'm not even sure if I still have it underneath there. I might not have it underneath there. I put that there when I was pulling the engine just in case, for center of gravity wise, if the car were to tip back, it would hit the rear differential so that the car couldn't tip back all the way and hit the ground basically. So I did have that in there. Oh, I see it. The 5th one is holding up the steering rack because I took the subframe out. I remember now. So it was in the back underneath the differential when I was pulling the engine out, and it did come in handy. Sometimes when I was pulling on the engine to try to get it out, is hitting the firewall and lifting the car up off the front jack stands just a little bit, and that back jack stand saved it perfectly good. So that's what I did. But anyway, how to get it up on 4 jack stands was what I was trying to deal with. And some people tell you to jack up on the pinch welds. Do not jack up on these pinch welds. They will bend like crazy. As you can see, mine are already kind of bent up, and I'm gonna go back and straighten these out. You can see that previous owners of this car jacked it up. I even tried jacking it up a little bit, but noticed immediately that it was starting to bend, and that's because I watched one of those videos, so I stopped before it actually bent up a lot and watched some other videos. But like I said, there wasn't really any good information on it. Even the Nissan factory jack manual tells you where to put a 4-post lift, but it doesn't actually tell you where to put the jack stands. So those are Hicus and fuel lines and whatnot. I'm going to be deleting, but don't mind that. Anyway, if you look inside, there is actually a frame rail. This guy is the frame rail, and be careful, this is plastic. This will mesh right there, so you don't want to jack it up on that. But what I did is I took a block of wood and my my jack, and I have a low pro floor jack, and basically I took a piece of block of wood and I centered it right in the center of the car, a little bit more towards this way actually, on the frame rail, and jacked it up one side at a time. You can put the pole right here where you're going to be jacking up from in the center of the car, and basically you're going to start wanting to jack it up and have the the car in gear. I blocked the front end of the wheels. You can also chalk the back wheels as well. More chalks is never going to be a bad thing. You just want to make sure while you're doing this, one side or the other doesn't try to roll away while you're doing it. So chalk all wheels if you feel more comfortable doing that. Have it in gear, e-brake set, all that good stuff. Anyway, start jacking it up. You'll notice that this side is going to start lifting, so both wheels are going to lift off the ground eventually. for this back jack, I did use, let me turn my light on. I did use Nissan's factory jack point right there, and get you a good look at it. That's where that jack is sitting. The front jacks, jack stands I have right on the frame rail. Yes, it's a little rusty, I will be fixing that. But as you can see, that one's on the frame rail itself, this one's on the factory jack point, and that's how it is on the other side. So jack your side up first, one side at a time. Once you get it up there, put your jack stands in place, lower it down, repeat on the other side. Make sure you use that block of wood, and mine was about 1 foot wide, so it covered a good amount of distance on the frame rail. That way, if you have like a really small, like jack head on it, and you try pushing up right on the frame rail, all that pressure is going to be centered right in one area of the frame rail, and with that block of wood, it disperses it a lot evenlier. So that's why I recommend the piece of wood. And don't go fast. Take your time, slow pumps, get the car up where you feel comfortable with it. Set your jacks accordingly. Matching jack stands would probably be ideal. Unfortunately, I didn't have that, so I just set them close to what they would be on each click. And then, like I said, you can come around. Yes, the car's extremely dirty. That's the fender. I do have this wheel underneath here that I like to do. That way, in case anything happens, it hits the wheel and doesn't go straight on the ground. That's just a safety precaution. Some people do this, some people don't. But as you can see, factory jack point right there on this one, and on the frame rail as well for the front one. And again, right in the center with the block of wood. That's the best way of doing it that I've seen personally doing it myself. And it's kind of weird with the age of this car that there wasn't a lot of videos online about how to get it on 4 jack stands, because I guess if you're working on this car, I guess everyone's either working on one side or the other, or they have a 2-post lift where they can just use the factory jack points and get the car up. But yeah, no, I mean, it's cool if you got that stuff, or if you don't need all 4 on the jack stand. But if you're working like me in a garage and you're trying to pull an engine, for instance, having it up on 4 jack stands is going to be a lot easier. Alright, sorry for the wind noise, but if you found this video helpful, leave a like on the video. If you have any questions, comment below. I'm more than happy to answer if I can. And this isn't necessarily me saying this is the only way to do it. There might be other ways of doing it. This is just how I did it. I'm not liable. If you guys decide to follow this and anything happens, just be careful. Take your time, like I said, and it should be fine. But yeah, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Like I mentioned earlier, this Z is getting 2JZ swapped. I have pretty much everything to get the engine in the car at the moment. I just pulled the lower subframe, and I'm about to start notching it. I got the freed engine mounts and CD009 trans kit as well. I was going to use the factory 5-speed, but freed makes the drive shaft and everything as well anyway, so it's kind of like more direct swap and bolt-on type stuff is which I'm kind of preferring for this type of swap, so I don't have to do as much fabrication, because I don't really have a lot of fabrication, not necessarily experience, but I don't really have a lot of equipment either to do a lot of the fabrication. So yes, I could fabricate some stuff if I needed to, but I would prefer bolt-on stuff. But anyway, thanks for watching this video, guys. Have a good day.